Nellie Marshall, prim stalwart of the Band of Hope Temperance Society, that same upright woman who'd come at her one day when she was 7 years old. Edie never understood what she'd done to provoke Nellie that day, except that she was late home from school. Nellie snatched up the iron from the fire, eyes burning with loathing. "That'll teach her," she spat at Edie as the iron hissed on her flesh. No accident. Edie was jerked out of her reverie by the sound of a sob coming from the woman standing in front of Ruby. Edie nudged Ruby. "She's at Cadbury's, ain't she? Accounts or summat?" Ruby shrugged. The bus had just pulled into view. The weeping woman fumbled to find her purse and her handkerchief dropped to the ground. Edie picked it up and touched the woman's arm. "Excuse me, you dropped this?" "Oh!" She turned round, embarrassed. "Thank you." "If I had a clean one, I'd give it to you," Edie said. The woman tried to produce a smile. "You're very kind." The bus ground to a halt and she turned away and climbed inside. Ruby said, "Tra then." As the bus moved off, Edie saw Ruby lean towards the window to wave. Janet Hatton climbed down from the bus in Navigation Street, her damp handkerchief still clutched in one hand. She was early. 6 o'clock, he'd said. The museum clock said 5 to 6. She smoothed her cardigan over her hips, turning to look at her reflection in one of the shop windows. She saw what no one else could yet see, a silly, cheap little secretary carrying a bastard child. The despair rose up and swamped her again. Janet was so appalled at herself, a respectable young woman, a Quaker, throwing everything away to run after this man. This man who aroused such desire in her, and whom she'd had to creep about to meet because of Alec's wife and son. In the shop window, another reflection came and stood beside her own. "Alec!" "Kitten." He smiled, handsome as ever. "Alec, there are things I need to say to you." Edie walked down Charlotte Road. The Marshall's house was halfway down. Rodney, her 10-year-old brother, was playing on the pavement. She realised she was still carrying Ruby's bag. Ruby lived in Glover Road nearby. She and Edie had met at their first Cadbury's interview, aged 14. Being accepted by Cadbury's meant good, steady work with holidays, education and medical treatment. For Edie, getting her place there was like the great miracle of her life. The Bonners' back door was open. The smell that came out was a mixture of stale cooking and booze. Ethel had always liked a tot of the hard stuff. These days it was a lot more than a tot. Ethel and Sid had worked in Variety before they married. He was a pianist and she sang and danced. Ethel gave it up when the kids came along. Often, when Edie had arrived at the house, she heard Ethel singing. Not now, though. Edie tapped on the door and heard Ethel shout, "Who is it?" "It's only me, Edie," she said, putting the bag on the floor. "Just dropping off Ruby's things." Edie walked sadly up the road. It felt terrible slinking away from the Bonners as fast as she could. Not long ago, she'd have done anything to be round there where it felt safe and everyone was kind. Her life was changing. In marrying Jack, she'd gain independence, but her heart was heavy. If only she didn't have to give up work. Seated beside Alec in the car, Janet watched his hands as they turned the wheel. He glanced at her. "You're quiet? Everything all right?" "I feel rather queasy. Let's go into the park." "I was hoping we could be a bit more private." "Please, I need to get out." He sighed impatiently and parked the car. That sigh decided her. She would not tell him. Better to deal with it herself, somehow. In the park, he took her arm. "I need you so badly." "Alec!" Janet stopped. "We have to stop this. What we're doing is wrong." He heard her coldness. "I see." He sighed again. "I better drive you back, then."